Have a little chat with Malky Mackay and assistant coach David Kerslake, the Cardiff manager, first team coach, and they said we're going to get about Tottenham this afternoon. We can't let them get a foothold in the game and get their passing game going. We have to play at a high intensity. Might be a little bit of a risk because they open the pitch up too much. Spurs are more than capable of punishing them, but if Cardiff could nudge themselves in front, Nick, like you say, with this crowd, could be a tough afternoon for Spurs.
You can see how Manchester City had a right old wobble the other day. It's 0-0 here at the Cardiff City Stadium, and former Tottenham man Fraser Campbell is on the attack for the home side. I think he won a corner there, but looked as though it came off Kyle Norton last. The assistant referee, who's now suffering a little bit, says it's a goal kick, but the fans are certainly giving him a piece of his mind. That looked like a corner to me, but apparently it came off Campbell last.
Well, he was hard-working, Nick Fraser Campbell, in his spell at Spurs, led the line, run the channels, and Harry Redknapp was manager. I felt there the cross from this near right-hand side did deflect against Kyle Norton, and possibly a corner kick should have been awarded to the home team.
Hugo Lloris has belted that one over the halfway line, and Tottenham haven't really got out of their own half at all. That's a brave header from Dawson, but it's picked up by Gary Medel, their £11 million signing from Seville. And now it's hooked down that right flank by Ben Turner. And Tottenham will cross halfway, I think for the first time, but Medel has come to bundle that out of play. Throw in Spurs. Kyle Walker to take it down their right-hand side on a grey, muggy afternoon in South Wales. Battleship grey skies. It looks as though it's going to pour with rain. It hasn't poured with rain yet, and the boos are because Tottenham Hotspur of North London are in possession. This is Kyle Norton, and he plays a crossfield ball from left to right, and Andros Townsend is going to bring this down on the right flank. He's closed down by Taylor, the fullback. Back to Walker in a crossing position. Walker's going to drill this into the feet of Christian Eriksen. First touch for him. Back to Townsend again. And Walker gets held up on the edge of the Cardiff penalty area. This is Spurs' best spell. Eriksen with the cross, looking for Sigurdsson, who almost gets goal side of Teofil Katarine. He's going to come out now to Kyle Norton, and he hammers that over the top from 25 yards. But a teasing cross from that right flank, and for a split second it looked as though Sigurdsson had nipped round the back.
Yeah, just dropped off the play there. And as he does, tried to be at the heart of all the positive moves, Eriksen. Curling cross around the back of the defence. But Teofil Katarine, the fullback, did well from inside the 6-yard box to head it away, just as Sigurdsson was coming in on the opposite side. Short back pass and Fraser's in.
Campbell's through. He's going to... Oh, brilliant work by Lloris. That is exceptional goalkeeping.
Did he handle it, Nick, outside the box? It was.
He seemed to get a hand to it, but I thought it was just inside.
Well, we need to see the replay of that again, because typical Hugo Lloris, accelerated off his line. He's really bailed his defenders out there, because that was extremely sloppy play. And Fraser Campbell was clean through one-on-one. Should have given Cardiff the lead.
Here we go. It's played back by Norton. Awful defending. Oh, it's just, I mean...
Is that on the line?
It's on the line. It happens too quickly.
We're just seeing a different angle now.
Here we go. We're going to see it from the line of the edge of the penalty area. He's faced by Lloris, and you can't... Maybe it is a little bit outside. It's really marginal. The assistant referee wasn't up with play. But awful defending by Kyle Norton. Well, here we go again.
It's
the third replay.
Really being slowed down now.
Campbell is inside the D.
That's
the
outside,
hand comes
Nick.
out. His fingers are outside. They're outside the white line, and he kind of follows through, doesn't he? But of course, the assistant referee's not up with play again. It's just an appalling back pass. Well, he's not. He plays it blind behind him. Does Kyle Norton? He doesn't know where Vertonghen is. And that is a real let-off in every sense. Hugo Lloris could have been sent off. There could have been a free kick right outside the box. And now, well, Dembele's nearly caught in possession, and Cardiff are doing exactly what Malky Mackay wasn't spinning you a line, was he, when you spoke to him?
No, he wasn't.
They are getting in and amongst Tottenham.
They see this as a real test for them this afternoon. They're really pumped up. They've gradually improved with each game after such disappointment on the opening day fixture at West Ham, where they were really well below par. They have improved. I think that Man City victory that we've already mentioned, Nick, gave them a lot of confidence and belief, and they've continued that, and they're making gradual steps with each Premier League fixture that they've faced.
Here comes Eriksson, turns this round the corner, tries to release Soldado, cut out by Gary Medell, and this is a very different Cardiff team to the one we saw swept aside by West Ham on the opening day. Townsend has done well, and he sent Walker away down the right-hand side, and Soldado, he's been palmed away by the goalkeeper. Soldado just tried to drill it into the net, and David Marshall made a total mess of that at his near post, kind of bundled it behind. It could have gone in quite easily. Spurs opening Cardiff up.
I'm not sure if he knew much about that, actually, David Marshall. Possibly looking down at AVB, the Tottenham coach standing in the technical area, he actually felt Soldado should have scored. Great cutback from Walker. He opted for placement, swept it goal bound, nearly squirmed in the near post. Here Tottenham corner.
Yeah, and it'll be swung out by Eriksson. This comes in towards Soldado. He's headed away though from danger by the Cardiff City defence. Dembele sends it back to Norton, who's a little carefuler with his sideways pass, doesn't send it behind anybody. Little back heel from Walker. Now Eriksson with a delightful left-footed ball dinked towards the edge of the box, helped on by Vertonghen.
Right, it goes to the wrong way, Nick, there, Vertonghen, because Soldado was ready for a knockdown.
Sigurdsson's cross, flicked up in the air by Soldado. Couldn't get anything on it, neither could Paulinho. And Gary Medell's going to try and run this clear for Cardiff City. Townsend has kept that in play, and he's used Paulinho outside him. Here goes the Brazilian. He gets held up. There's plenty of Cardiff players buzzing around the football at the moment. Walker keeps it alive, given to Dembele centre field, faced by Gunnarsson, rolls it out to this left flank for Tottenham now, and Norton just inside the Cardiff half of the field. There's a lot of work being done by these red shirts to close down space. Walker trying to bustle forward, gets held up by Kim. Back it goes out now to Paulinho on the right flank, rolled forward to Sigurdsson. Tottenham keeping possession. Wide it goes to the right flank now, and Norton onto his right foot in a crossing position. Floated ball. There's an angled header by Sigurdsson, which is gathered by the goalkeeper Marshall. Just managed to stretch his neck muscles and divert it goalwards. It was straight out the goal, near enough to the goalkeeper for him to gather, and the move breaks down.
Walker bursting forward, great run.
Brilliant run by Kyle Walker. He's run absolutely miles. He's inside the box and he's still going, and Ben Turner has to stop him about 8 yards from goal with a sliding challenge. Out of play it goes to Tottenham's second corner.
Afterburners are on there, weren't they? All of 50 yards, galloping with the ball. Kyle Walker almost underlapping there, wasn't he? Didn't go on the outside, right between left centre half and left full back into the space, but the covering challenge from Turner was very well timed.
Eriksson with the right-footed delivery, swung out once again. This is looking for Dawson. It's headed away only as far as Townsend. He shoots, blocked by Gunnarsson, comes out to Eriksson, who tries to trick his way round Fraser Campbell, but he can't get round him, and Campbell clears, and it's a throw into Spurs, level with the edge of the Cardiff box.
By all accounts, Nick, David Kerslake mentioned me, the owner here at Cardiff, pre-game sprinkles the pitch with slices of orange and lemon, because it's a ritual.
Really?
In his part of the world, and it's supposed to be bring you good luck. There you go.
Well, maybe they didn't.
Bit of inside knowledge there.
Maybe they didn't sprinkle the edge of the penalty area because they didn't get the rub of the green, Cardiff. That is fascinating, isn't it? Here's Eriksson coming forward for Spurs. 25 yards from goal. Shoots low, saved by Marshall. Down to his left. It might have bounced in front of him. Difficult one to deal with. It's another Spurs corner. And this is my first viewing of Christian Eriksson. He gets everywhere, doesn't he?
Top player, Nick, isn't he? What a strike. They mixed the play up well there. Spurs went back to front, missed the melee out in centre field, and the heady clearance dropped to Eriksson, who anticipated where it might fall. He's come across to take the corner, whipped a shot in, Marshall palmed it away.
In swinger this time from Eriksson towards the far post, claimed by Marshall. Under no real pressure, Vertonghen couldn't really get there in time, and those Spurs players in all blue today, all dark blue, stream out of the penalty area. Marshall waves them away.
Turner, what a great little touch to Townsend.
He's burst into the penalty area and he shoots left-footed. There are about 5 Cardiff players flinging themselves in the way. The block comes in from Turner and it's cleared. There were other players also around there. That's good work by Kim to win it back. Alert play by Dawson to get the challenge in on Kim, and Paulinho has tidied up. Goes Sigurdsson. He's turning the full-back in and out like a sock here on the edge of the box. Gets a low cross in, scrambled away by Corker, and Teofil Katarine, who barely knows what day it is after that sort of treatment from Gylfi Sigurdsson, who has upped his game this season. Sigurdsson, he
played with confidence. I think the goals last week and the belief that the manager's got in him. He's a model professional, conducts himself. Great movement there from Soldado, and top pass from Norton.
Yeah, Soldado gets away down the left. Turner tracks him, bundles it out of play. It's all Tottenham at the moment. Well, Kim centre field, lifts this forward. Campbell brings it down inside the box. Here's a chance for Cardiff. He's going to roll it square. Bellamy takes over with his back to goal. He's going to give it to Kim, who tries to burst into the box. It's a foot race for Dembele. Out wide it goes, and a cross is drilled in. But it's tidied up by Norton. It was Tearfield-Catherine, which is not easy to say quickly when you're Cardiff are pouring all over you, but it was the full-back who got the cross in, and Norton was able to tidy up. One man that we haven't seen a great deal of so far is the 34-year-old Craig Bellamy.
Well, yes, you know, I think there's perhaps question marks as to whether this will be maybe his final season here at these beloved Cardiff, possibly on the verge of retiring as well from Wales and international football. But an illustrious career, and he always said that he wanted to end up in these parts. He got them and helped enormously in terms of getting that promotion last season, and he wants them to stabilise and keep their Premier League status this campaign.
He's currently playing down the right-hand side of the midfield four, and we haven't seen a great deal of him so far. There was one statistic I was going to throw at you, Bradley, actually, which is that Tottenham have created more chances so far this season than any other Premier League side up to this round of matches. Soldado brings this down on the edge of the box. He's allowed to turn and shoot. It's going to come out of Eriksson. Oh, it's saved by Marshall. And can Soldado turn it into the far post? No. It seemed to go in slow motion. The shot was so stinging from Eriksson, and Marshall got his left hand to it, and it almost rolled into the net. In the end, it trickled past the post before Soldado could get to the rebound.
Well, there was no pressure on the initial pass that Paulinho played on the diagonal. Turner and Corker had lost Soldado. He maybe should have scored. On the follow-up, Eriksson struck it. Again, I don't think Marshall knew much about it, and it squirmed wide.
Here's Eriksson's corner again from the right-hand side. Paulinho jumping, and the header flashes wide. Here's Stephen Corker with a clearance for Cardiff towards the halfway line. Dawson takes over, gives it to Norton, who flicks it out to the flank. Sigurdsson controls it, back to the left back for Tottenham, who's going to try and switch it from left to right. Can he find Townsend? No, not quite. Good anticipating work from left back by Andrew Taylor. He saw what Norton was trying to do, and Taylor flew through the air, headed it out of play, and Tottenham had possession with the throw-in on that right-hand side. Here's Townsend's cross, charged down. Paulinho keeps it alive. Walker's going to fire this into the penalty area. It cannons off a couple of players and goes up in the air. Bellamy heads it clear for Cardiff towards the halfway line. Dembele wriggles away from two more Cardiff players. This is Spurs at their best. Played into Sigurdsson, who turns away from his man, and right-footed drives this in. Another good save by Marshall. Paulinho can't pick up the rebound, and scrambled away by Whittingham.
Well, how Spurs are not in front in the last 5 minutes is beyond me. They're just bossing it. They can't even clear their lines, and they're barely getting out their half now, Cardiff. Spurs are rampant.
Here's Dembele again. Gets held up this time by Kim. Everybody back for Cardiff City. Here's Townsend, penetrating run into the penalty area, dinks the cross into the 18-yard box. It's cleared away by Tearfield-Catherine. Comes out to Paulinho, tries to knock this back into the mix, and then Eriksson tries to go for it, and the referee has spotted an infringement. I think Townsend might have used a high foot, and it's a free kick to Cardiff. Some respite for the Cardiff City back 8, which is what they're currently operating with.
And this is you know, far from the atmosphere that Cardiff managed to build up through their play when they faced Manchester City here.
Dembele said
the crowd are almost in awe and respecting Tottenham's performance, aren't they?
Tottenham have achieved something already in this game, even though it's 0-0 as Dembele is dispossessed by Bellamy. They have in the main shut the crowd up. Now Dawson's gone through the back of Campbell there. Referee waves play on. Here goes Townsend on the outside, tearing into the penalty area, cuts it back, looking for Soldado, scrambled away by Turner. It's another Tottenham corner. Campbell's back up to his feet. I think Dawson did win the ball, but these days you never know.
Well, you know, that's an interesting challenge that was made there by Michael Dawson. You know, I think he did come around the side of Fraser Campbell rather than through the back of his heel and foot. There was contact on the ball at the other end. Townsend's forced the corner.
Eriksson swings this out. Dawson's header's over the top. He didn't really head it as he would have liked, and it goes over the top and out of play for a goal kick. The owner of Cardiff City is sort of ambling around away to our right. He's
pacing.
Yes, he's
bit twitchy, bit nervous.
Yeah, he is. He's the only one standing up in the stand. So we look away to our left, wearing his dark glasses, and yes, he looks pensive and nervous, as do these Cardiff City
He looks
City
a character,
fans.
Nick, doesn't he?
And Cardiff City are at the moment in the Spurs half, which has been a bit of a rare thing in the last few minutes. And this high-tempo pressing game that Cardiff wanted to produce, they've only produced it in fits and starts. Here's Kim, gives it to Bellamy, inside the D. Now Campbell flicks it out wide to the fullback, who swings in across, headed away by Dembele, helped clear by Eriksson. Soldado is bundled to the ground, is he, by Turner? No, again. Oh, Mark Clattenburg's got a very laissez-faire attitude today. Let's just keep going, folks. Townsend, Spurs on the counter-attack. Townsend marauded in field. He's run a long way, given to Sigurdsson on the edge of the box. Onto his right foot, gets closed down, also gets clipped. And that's Teofil Caterin's most useful intervention so far, dispossessing Sigurdsson as he was about to shoot. And now the Cardiff City supporters find their voice, and it's spread down the channel. Fraser Campbell holds it up, brings Whittingham into proceedings down that left-hand side. And Andrew Taylor bursts forward. The fullback is still going. Out wide to Whittingham on that flank now. We're seeing a little more from Cardiff after Tottenham's dominant spell where they had 4 chances but didn't convert. Here's Gary Medell, and he shoots from 25-30 yards, sails over the top, but at least Cardiff are starting to make a bit of a fist of it.
Well, he did well there. Spurs at one end through Townsend's electric pace and dribbling skills almost gave them a counter-attacking opportunity. It comes to Sigurdsson, who was intercepted by fullback Teofil Caterin, and then at the other end a bit of control, a passing move, eventually Medell shot from range. But a chance for some of the players here to come to the technical area and get themselves a well-earned drink, because this game has been played at a breakneck speed.
And it is warm, isn't it, as well? You know, we're
very mild for the time of the year.
Yeah, 21 degrees today. I think most people were expecting it to be a little chillier in Cardiff today. There's some cramp, I think, for Ben Turner. He's going to need to be treated. Back it goes to Marshall, who clears right-footed over the halfway line. Vertonghen rises, beats Kim in the air. It's going to drop to Bellamy on this right-hand side. Bellamy will wait for a dash forward through the middle, and it well cut out by Dawson, who had Campbell and Kim trying to sandwich him and take him out of it altogether. Kim has stayed down. He might have been caught in the face by Dawson's acrobatic clearance, but the game continues. Townsend doesn't know what to do with it because of the booing from the home supporters. In the end, he's whacked that out of play.
He was oblivious to it, Nick, actually, to be fair to young Andros Townsend.
And also, it's not a head injury, so why is the game stopped?
Well, Taylor's having a go at him, the left full-back, but he wasn't aware. Right at the other end of the pitch, sitting on side the corner of the 18-yard box, was Kim Bo-kyung, requires some treatment for maybe a dead leg at the top of his left thigh.
I think Dawson might have just
on the follow-through, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing sinister in that. Tottenham fans not too impressed with how long Kim is taking to lead the field of play. The last time these two sides met in the top flight, and were champions of England, January 1962.
61-62.
One, it was a different Mackay was involved that day.
A certain Scottish Dave Mackay.
That's right. He scored that day.
One of the greatest ever midfielders to grace the Tottenham Hotspur's shirt.
Here comes Spurs. Eriksson gives this to Soldado, who lays it off. Picked up by Paulinho. Wide it goes to Townsend on that right-hand side. Little reverse ball out to Walker, who keeps it alive. Back to Townsend. Townsend left-footed, goes for goal straight at Marshall. And he gathers it comfortably. It's good work by Walker to keep this alive, and he's now accelerating to the centre of the field for Tottenham. Gets it out wide to Townsend on that right flank. There are blue shirts pouring forward. Rolls square to Eriksson, 25 yards from goal. Now Norton joins in, closed down as he tries to shoot with his right foot into Soldado, who's onside down the right edge of the box. Paulinho in the penalty area. Now here's Townsend onto his left foot, feints to shoot, runs square, does shoot. It hits Gunnarsson, goes behind. It's another Tottenham corner, and Cardiff breathe again.
Well, 10 players behind the ball, isn't it? All inside the 18-yard box. You know, there's a barrier of red shirts there. And as you said, Nick, it might even take a long-distance shot from outside, from 20-25 yards this afternoon. But it's got to be very accurate, just inside the post, maybe even top corner to beat David Marshall.
Sixth corner for Tottenham in this first half. Eriksson to take it right-footed. It swings out and it's headed away by Gunnarsson. Gets in front of Paulinho. Dembele driving towards the edge of the penalty area. Into the box now. Tries to go round Teofil Caterin, but it just gets away from him and wriggles out of play. You can see Dembele's disappointment as he trudges back towards the halfway line. Cardiff have survived the latest Tottenham onslaught. Into Cardiff, but they're going through one of these little spells, Cardiff City, where they are asking Tottenham questions.
Well, they are showing good spirit. You know, they mirror their manager's personality. He was always a very honest, determined, uncompromising player, Malky Mackay, through his career. and that's clearly evident, and that's enabled them actually to stay in this game.
Oh, Taylor chasing this crossfield ball by Kim from right to left, but it quickens up on the surface and goes out of play. Throw in Spurs deep inside their own half of the field, and Kyle Walker, who's had to do very little defending so far this afternoon. Walker's in a wrestling match with Medell, and it's been won by Medell, who gives it to Kim, and now Campbell breaks forward. Spurs caught in possession too much in that final third area as Whittingham is dispossessed. Comes back out to Gary Medell, and you know, Medell's got he's a big unit, he's quite thick set, and he wasn't budging, was he?
For Chile, and he's only 5'8". I don't know if you know that, Nick.
I didn't know he played centre half as well, and he's not the biggest, but he's uncompromising.
And you know, he can, someone that's of a small stature, he can use that low centre of gravity and hold his opponents off and retain possession of the football.
Walker was unable to stand, or unable to shift Medell, if you like, as Norton gets into a pickle twice, then gets himself out of a pickle. Again, he's been caught in possession too many times, as in goes Dawson, gets a foot in, takes it away from Campbell, then Campbell goes in with a high foot and fouls Townsend, and the home crowd aren't happy with it. Campbell suggesting that Dawson fouled him first. But it is a free kick to Tottenham just outside the centre circle. It's getting a little heated out there.
Well, that's what they want. You know, they want to be able to break up the intensity. Crunching tackle between Campbell and Dawson. They managed to show enough resilience here, Cardiff, and just before the half-time whistle, perhaps earn themselves a set play. That's where they may prove to be, you know, the undoing of Tottenham. You know, from free kicks and corners. Campbell looks maybe from that Dawson challenge. He's going to require a little bit of treatment.
Tearfield Catarines breaking forward. He's won another throw-in off Sigurdsson, and he's going to think about throwing it long, but instead he throws it short. And Tearfield Catarines sends this towards the edge of the Spurs box, where it's volleyed away from danger by Paulinho. Turner has beaten Soldado in the air. Kim picks it up on the flank, right in front of AVB, and now it's belted forward, looking for Whittingham, who made a dash into the penalty area. Oh no, dear, has Hugo Lloris let that go out of play? He has. It's a corner. Lloris tried to control that on the edge of his penalty area, and it just got away from him and rolled over the touchline, and it will be Cardiff City's first corner. What was that about a set piece you were saying, Bradley?
I'm not going to comment on that, Nick.
You saw into the future. Well,
prophetic words there.
90 seconds of normal time to go.
Pathetic first touch from Hugo Lloris.
Yes, he's not been brilliant with his lines.
The Tottenham supporters will be furious with him here.
It's a corner.
Those that made the long trip, if Cardiff get themselves a goal from this corner kick.
End of the first half. Here's Whittingham's delivery. This one comes towards the far post, headed down and headed into the net. No, has it been chalked off? It has. Ben Turner had it in the back of the net with a free header at the far post, but the assistant referee has chalked it off. Did it go out of play, the corner?
Certainly didn't go out of play. I think there's a push there, and I think that's really harsh. I think Mark Clattenburg's saying that Ben Turner used the back of Michael Dawson, but that's just a good honest challenge.
He's out-jumped him. Yeah. Just seemed to, well, you know, they've had the rub of the green, Spurs.
Slightly.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, a little bit of leverage.
But I suppose if you jump well,
I don't think the Cardiff manager, after seeing the replay of that, will be happy at all with Mark Clattenburg. If you should have been allowed. If
you've jumped earlier than Dawson and you've won the header earlier and then you land on Dawson, that's not the same thing as using him as a climbing. He's not clambered up Dawson's back. It's the other way round. He got there first, and that could have been a goal. Kim has got away from Dawson, then gets held up.
Campbell was in, and he's furious, absolutely furious. And I think Michael Dawson might have been pulled back here.
Yeah, the referee wanted
Campbell
to let
made
it go.
An angled run. He was ready for Kim's through pass, and he didn't play it. He turned him down. Good chance there for Cardiff.
And Kim was explaining to Campbell that he didn't see him, I think. But yeah, Dawson held him anyway. Yeah, Dawson was pulling his shorts down, frankly.
He didn't yellow carded, Nick, did he? I don't think
he did, no. But it's a free kick. It's 30 yards out. And this is where Craig Bellamy, 34 years old or not, can be so deadly. It is a way out from goal, almost 30 yards or so. Another set-piece delivery to cause Spurs headaches. Whittingham's delivery into the box, headed away by Dawson. Corker was nearly there. Oh, goodness me. Ben Turner tries to bicycle kick that in from 14 yards. It goes well wide. Tottenham have not won in this city since 1957, so there's various things that need to be put to bed. We'll run you through the two lineups in a second, but here's Bellamy away down that right hand side into the penalty area, drives it across goal, saved by Lloris.
What a chance. Real early on, Craig Bellamy beat the offside chap. His second, third touch were excellent. It carried him right into the box, and if it had struck a more firmer cross from the right hand side, I think Whittingham was coming in from the opposite flank, and it would have been a simple tap in for Cardiff.
No changes for either side at the interval. Spurs have Lloris in goal, Walker, Vertonghen, Dawson and Norton at the back. In midfield, Townsend, Dembele, Paulinho and Sigurdsson, with Eriksson playing behind Soldado. For Cardiff, Marshall in goal, Tearfield, Catherine, Corker, Turner and Taylor at the back. In midfield, Bellamy, Medell, Gunnarsson and Whittingham, with Kim playing behind Campbell. On the bench for Spurs, Friedel, Chiriches, Lamela, Holtby, Sandro, Friars and Kane. As at the other end, Soldado tries to break through, hooked away by Turner. And for Cardiff, Lewis, Hudson, Odemwingie, Much, Cowley, Mason and Maynard. Here is Moussa Dembele, who is levered off it by Kim. Good strength by the South Korean. Then manages to get the better of Townsend as well. No, he doesn't. Yellow card shown to Townsend.
For young Andros Townsend there, but a bit of self-indulgence by Moussa Dembele, dribbling back into a congested area. Should have just opened his body up and played out of the tight space, but he didn't. And Cardiff, they'd be lifted by these, silly moments that Spurs are sometimes making and choosing to do in possession.
That silly moment is a very good way of describing it. Here's Whittingham's free kick towards the far post, looking for Corker, headed away as far as Bellamy. On the volley, Bellamy's efforts deflected over the top. It's a Cardiff corner. The one player you do not want the ball dropping to on the edge of your penalty area in this match is Craig Bellamy. Fortunately, I think it was Dawson got a block in. It is a Cardiff corner, their second of the game.
Controlled volley, I think it was on target. He did it and take a deflection on its way through. But the start here is identical for Cardiff as it was in the first 5 minutes of the first half.
Plenty of movement in and around the edge of the 6-yard box. Here's Bellamy's corner, fired in towards the far post, headed away by Michael Dawson.
Header from Michael Dawson. Absolutely brilliant. He's been at that this afternoon.
Medell picks it up, sends the ball back into the Tottenham penalty area. Lloris comes and claims just above Fraser's Campbell's head. Keeps the ball in his own box as well, which is always useful. This has been cut out by Dawson for Tottenham at the back. And he's going to glide forward now towards the halfway line. Here's Andros Townsend, who cuts infield, then goes on the outside of Taylor like two butterflies taking each other on the flank, inside then outside. Townsend rolls it square. Eriksson prods this forward. Here's Soldado, who's going to turn it across the face of goal. Nobody there. Sigurdsson couldn't get on the end of it, and tucked away by Tearfield Catherine for Tottenham's 7th corner of the game. In comes the corner, swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Gunnarsson. Here's Townsend, down the right, onto his left foot. He shoots low and gathered by Marshall, who seems to get on the end of everything Spurs throw at him. Lovely control by Andros Townsend on that right flank. And he cuts infield onto his left foot, into Soldado. Runs out of options, gives it back to Townsend, who's being shepherded all the way. And now Sigurdsson shoots. Oh, it hits the crossbar. Soldado shoots, comes back off the goalkeeper, and now it's going to come back to Soldado again. Cardiff surviving, but only just, and it's headed clear by Stephen Corker. The first effort off the woodwork, the second saved by Marshall. Still, Cardiff keep Tottenham out. Spurs on the attack again, though. Here's Townsend down the left edge of the penalty area. Now Sigurdsson tries to drill it back into Paulinho. It's run away from the pair of them, picked up by Townsend again, cuts it back, but only as far as Medell, who volleys it clear, and Cardiff have survived.
Well, those owners' oranges and lemons, Nick, that were sprinkled on the pitch, they're proving to offer Cardiff that charmed life, because the ball just will not go in. Paulinho's shot
over the top,
one to forget.
Fraser turns away from Dembele, sends Gunnarsson away down the left edge of the Tottenham box. He's been closed down by Walker, who's done very well there and has been strong to take it away from Gunnarsson, who's furious with himself, and he's going to run it clear, and he's travelled a long way. Gives it to Eriksson, centre field.
Lovely break here from Spurs.
Wide to Sigurdsson down that left-hand side. Norton galloping beyond him. Sigurdsson approaching the edge of the penalty area. Into Norton, on the left edge of the box. Drives in across, blocked by Corker. It is Tottenham's 8th corner of this match. Eriksson, centre field, looks up to see 9 red shirts in his way. Now given to Walker down the right flank. Townsend's with him on that side of the field. Into Ericsson, steered forward to Soldado. Ericsson peels away to the right-hand side now. He's being watched by Taylor. Back to Soldado again. It's all Tottenham at the moment. There are so many red shirts behind the ball. Given to Walker in a crossing position. He hangs this up to the far side. Controlled by Norton, who sends it into the mix now. Soldado tries to get goal side. Saved again.
What
the flag was up. The flag was up. It wouldn't have counted. But dear, oh dear. How many more times is the ball going to hit David Marshall somewhere on his body and stay out?
Half a yard. Soldado drifting on the shoulder of Andrew Taylor there. Wonderful cross. Field pass initially from Walker from right to left. Then the flighty delivery from Norton on the opposite side behind the Cardiff defence. Soldado drifted in, met it plumb on the volley. Straight at the goalkeeper once again.
Anyone would think David Marshall was massive. Because, you know, he's just an average size goalkeeper.
Has ever a player been awarded 11 out of 10, Nick, for a performance? Well, because he's well on the way to that, isn't he? He's been remarkable.
Here's Walker down the right, running at Whittingham, inside the Cardiff half of the field. Given to Paulinho now on that flank. He gets closed down, so he uses Walker outside him. Walker into Paulinho again, and now Townsend. Ericsson with his back to goal. Townsend again running central. Gives it to Norton, who guides it out wide to the left-hand side now, and Gylfi Sigurdsson running at the full-back, goes on the outside of him, takes it to the byline, gives it to Paulinho. Good save by Marshall at his near post. Paulinho kind of stabbed it towards goal, and Marshall got down smartly to turn it wide. That was a good save.
Well, the Tottenham manager's got his hands on his hips, and he's almost, Nick, shaking his head. It's disbelief. This is becoming ridiculous.
Here's the corner, whipped in by Ericsson, punched away by Marshall. Gets good distance on the punch as well. It would appear.
Inspired form, the Cardiff keeper.
Here's Soldado, given to Walker on the touchline. He's going to give it to Paulinho, who had that chance a little bit earlier. It's going to go out for a Cardiff throw, is it? Yes, it is. Came off Paulinho last. Well, what do you say if you're ABB? Just carry on. He can't save every single shot you have, as long as they're on target.
And as you said about chances, and in which Cardiff did a couple of minutes before half-time, they will get them if the scoreline is to stay as it is.
Ericsson, wide to Sigurdsson on the left flank. Sigurdsson is going to take on Teofil Katerin. He's going to cut in field, and then Gunnarsson sees a chance to just sweep the ball clear, and he's found Campbell. Can Cardiff hit Tottenham on the break? Campbell goes to ground, free kick against Kyle Norton. And it's a free kick to Cardiff, 10 yards inside their own half. And we've said it before in this game, we'll say it again, Tottenham have got to make sure they're not undone by a set piece.
Well, they really needed that, Cardiff. They're giving Fraser Campbell a good round of applause down that right-hand side for the unselfish run. He was 2v1, he drew a foul. It's silly from Carl Norton, and Whittingham has good delivery. In-swinger here with his trusty left foot. It's allowed Corker and Turner to push forward. Spurs have got a free kick to defend.
And they played it short, and Bellamy is going to stab this forward. That's a real waste, actually, by Craig Bellamy. Well, I think it is. They've managed to win it back, and Whittingham's away down the right-hand side. Across the face it goes, and it's nearly touched in by Corker at the far post, but it gets away from him. Oh, that would just be the icing on the cake if Stephen Corker would have scored against his former club, but he couldn't quite reach the cross that was thumped across the 6-yard area.
Well, he just didn't have the anticipation of a goal scorer. Just on his heels slightly, wasn't he? Still up in attack, and if he'd have thrown himself, sensed where the ball was going to go between defence and goalkeeper, Corker would have scored against his old side. Once again, that's lifted Cardiff. Still game on, but I can't remember a Premier League game this season with the amount of opportunities to score a goal.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to take this crown that Tottenham currently have of the team that create more chances than anybody else so far in the Premier League, because they've created loads, but Cardiff aren't doing too badly either. Now the full-back's been dispossessed. Teofil Katerin has left a gaping hole which Tottenham need to exploit. Here's Paulinho coming forward now in Tottenham colours. Gives it to Norton. Spurs have been a little bit sluggish in making the most of this, and Cardiff have pulled everybody back behind the ball. They have to start again. Can Ericsson unlock this bank of red shirts in his way? Given to Townsend down that left-hand side. Townsend into the box, just edged away from him. It's a matter of millimetres, but it works, and Cardiff have got away from it, or with it rather.
Interception, good challenge from Paulinho, great run here from Townsend.
Oh, and he's gone past 2 or 3 and he's been hacked down by Turner. That's a free kick.
And one for the team.
Yeah, he had to make that challenge outside the box because he knew if he'd have done that inside the box, it would have been a penalty and probably worse. Ben Turner goes in the book, first card shown to a Cardiff player. Free kick to Spurs down the right-hand side. And I haven't said this yet this season, but this is Gareth Bale territory. It's to the right and it's over 20 yards out.
Well, they do have 2 left-footers here. It's right side of the goal. Andros Townsend, Jan Vertonghen. Going to be looking to try and use the angle here and whip it up and over the crossbar. But they have a certain David Marshall to beat.
Yes, and that has proved impossible so far. Vertonghen or Townsend to strike this.
We did say, Nick, first half, it just might be a shot from outside the box, from range. Is this it?
There's 3 of them waiting for it. It is Townsend who puts it straight in the wall. It's not this. Comes out to Dembele, though, onto his left foot. He can strike them, and it's saved by David Marshall. Needless to say, it's saved by David Marshall. And this is an auspicious moment in the life and times of one of the more eccentric footballers that have passed through the English Premier League in recent years. There was a very good interview with him in the paper the other day, actually, Peter Odemwingie, about what happened at West Brom. He came across very well in the interview, and the various disasters that befell him towards the end of his time at the Hawthorns. But he's going to make his first appearance in Cardiff colours, and Fraser Campbell is going to come off. And Odemwingie is
well, he's getting a good round of applause. He's a very honest, hard-working player, and you know, when your side don't have too much possession of football and you're playing that lone striker, you can really feel isolated and cut adrift somewhat. But he's kept running. He's tried to threaten Vertonghen and Michael Dawson on numerous occasions. He had that chance in the first 5 minutes, but Odemwingie will come on and take his place.
He gets a huge ovation from the people of Cardiff. Here's Soldado for Spurs inside the Cardiff penalty area, holds it up. Oh, gives it to Townsend. Townsend tries to get a yard of space, dinks this into the box. Sigurdsson tries to get hold of it, volleyed up in the air, but not entirely clear by Bellamy. It's going to drop to Dembele just in front of us as we sit behind Andre Villas-Boas' position, and he watches Dembele control this and come forward. Faced by Gunnarsson, rolls it square. Here's Sigurdsson into Soldado, and now Eriksson gives it to Norton down that left-hand side. He's inside the penalty area and he shoots over the top. It's really wasteful, and there were so many Spurs bodies forward. Here come Cardiff again. Kim down the flank, keeps it alive. Needs some help, tries to dart between 2 players. Oh, he's gone down cheaply there. Surely he's gone down cheaply. The referee's waved advantage. Clipped into the Spurs penalty area. Odemwingie brings it down and tries to turn, and the volley from Gunnarsson is over the top, and I'm not sure if...
I think Malky Mackay's just looking at the 4th official and he's just saying, we'd much prefer the free kick, thanks.
As this is one for Vertonghen to deal with at the back for Spurs. He's headed it away. And now Norton's chasing shadows, and that's cannoned off a Cardiff player, and it's going to be picked up by Odemwingie inside the box. This is a real chance. He's put it wide. Oh, what an opportunity that is. They stood off him as well. Vertonghen gave Odemwingie the chance to turn and shoot. Cardiff really will look back at several moments in this game and think they actually, not Spurs, should be leading this game 1-0.
Well, they've had in some ways, some of the better chances, in fact. Just never really defended it with any conviction. It was a long ball played forward. Vertonghen didn't clear it. Cole Norton was very sloppy in his clearance. It broke to Odemwingie, 1v1. He twisted, he turned. The ball was really spinning on the ground. And a curling effort, just inches wide of Hugo Lloris's far post. Cardiff coming back into it. Crowd's expectations are raised. There goes Spurs again. This game is ebbing and flowing beautifully.
Here's Eriksson into Sigurdsson, round the corner for Eriksson again, who's being charged down by Gunnarsson, but Eriksson has maintained the possession. Kim has taken it away from Paulinho and goes breezing over the halfway line. He's been brought to ground. Michael Dawson is shown a yellow card. Kim is lying on the ground himself, and Dawson steps away with a smile on his face. It's Eric Lamela. He's going to come on for Tottenham Hotspur and make his 3rd substitute appearance for Spurs, and he's going to replace Gylfi Sigurdsson, who is getting these boos because of the time he spent on loan at Cardiff City, at the Swansea City rather, between January and May of last year. He was only on loan. Imagine if he played for them properly. Dear oh dear. All sorts of abuse. Cardiff edging forward. And this is played over the top. Looking for Whittingham, who's going to try and send this down the channel. And this is belted away. The Cardiff fans having some fun with Eric Lamela. Norton playing this forward. Now Dembele centre field. Loads of blue shirts have committed themselves into advanced areas. Dembele gets away from Kim, slots this forward. Here is Lamela, onside. First time cross is blocked away. Comes back out to Lamela. Here's the cross, misses Eriksson by inches.
Great run from Soldado. Lamela should have picked him out. He might have been offside. He opted for a cutback, and the foul's been given there against Vertonghen. His shirt pull pushed Peter on Wingate when the ball was played up to him.
Walker gets it wide to Townsend down this right-hand side. He's going to take this to the byline, is he? He's going to prod it infield to Eriksson. Set back to Walker in a crossing position. Eriksson again into Walker and Eriksson once more. They're trying to work something. Paulinho's in the box. So Soldado and Lamela. It's wriggled into Soldado. Little back heel. Townsend joins the line. Bursts towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Scrambled away from him. And bustle clear. That was like the fullback joining the line of backs in rugby. He just sort of arrived as the extra man and managed to take the ball forward, but he couldn't break through that red line. And here's the change for Cardiff, and Bellamy's coming off, and Don Cowie is going to come on in his place. I don't think Craig Bellamy has seen that his oh no, there's the handing of the captain's armband, interestingly going to Stephen Corker.
Nice touch.
Yeah, absolutely, against his former club. And Craig Bellamy's going to shake Mark Clattenburg by the hand. Well, it's terribly, terribly sporting. Here's Kim, given to Odin Wingy now for Cardiff. Down towards the byline. Tears past his man. Cuts it back for Gunnarsson, and he blazes it over. And he had the whole goal at his mercy. And Aaron Gunnarsson will have to think about that for the rest of the weekend. But it was cut back to him. He was unmarked, and he's blazed it into the stand away to our left. And that is another good chance for Cardiff.
Gilt-edged chance, brilliant play from substitute Odemwingie at his best, dribbling to the byline beyond Vertonghen, fleet of foot, really unselfish. It did come quickly to Gunnarsson and possibly popped up off the turf on the half volley, but you expect a Premier League player to be able to guide a shot on the target beneath the crossbar, high, wide and handsome.
Andros Townsend has come off and Harry Kane has come on for Spurs. So Tottenham, they've all gone a bit 4-4-2, haven't they, Spurs?
Wow.
Gracious. You don't see that very often. So this is very much a front, well, 3 or 4 really. Lamela, Dembele, Soldado and Kane all in a line. They're going to use Kane's height to try and win headers on that flank as well. He's got something on that. Paulinho takes over. Walker picks it up. Angled ball forward now for Dembele, who attacks the edge of the penalty area. He's got Kim in front of him. Wide to Lamela down that right-hand side. He'll run at the edge of the box. Little twinkle toes, tries to take on Taylor, who runs it out of play. And Tottenham have earned their 10th corner of the game. Here's Eriksson's ball in. It's deflected and headed away by Gary Medel. Walker gets it out wide to Eriksson again on this right-hand side. He sends a teasing cross in. Look at Paulinho, it just goes beyond him. There was a question mark as to who was going to get on the end of that.
Brilliant cross, Nick, wasn't it? Nobody was on Eriksson's wavelength there.
Inviting, begging to be turned in. Here's Lamela, language style with the sticky up hair, cuts in field, looks up to see what options are in front of him. One of them is Harry Kane, faced by 2 defenders, given to Eriksson 30 yards from goal once again. A line of blue shirts intermingling with a line of red shirts. Kane again, central, looks up to see Norton in there, and Tottenham are knocking it around and causing their manager all sorts of palpitations. Here's Dembele, tries to turn away from 2 or 3, makes ground to the edge of the penalty area, wide to Walker, who thinks about crossing. Now it's going to slot this to the edge of the box, laid back by Kane towards Norton. Kane in a crossing position on the left edge of the box, cuts in field, shoots just wide, and Lamela couldn't get there at the far post, unless it was a cross, I'm not sure. Tottenham waste another chance. Holtby plays it forward, and Paulinho's onside. Good save by Marshall, raced off his line, brilliant. I don't think he's going to be beaten today. Here's Norton in a crossing position. In comes a cross towards the far post, headed away by Taylor. Oh, what a chance that was for Spurs. But Marshall was so alert. He's been taking lessons from Lewis Holtby.
Just a little dink, wasn't it? Broke the line there. did Paulinho. He thought he's just going to clip it over David Marshall, but such a big size, commanding presence, dived at his feet and blocked the shot away. Dembele needs to be careful he doesn't get intercepted here.
Oh, he's just
Spurs
kept it alive.
Been lucky. There was a three-man press on him, and they've worked it to the left to Harry Kane.
Spurs still in possession, still coming forward, still
now
looking for this winner.
Stuff, isn't it?
Oh, you wonder the next mistake, as there's a cross that's looking for Soldado, and is that gone on target? It has. It's been clawed away by Marshall. Oh, David Marshall yet again from a flicked header by Roberto Soldado. Tottenham have their 11th corner. In comes a corner. It's going to drop to the edge of the box. Fired in now by Dawson. Blocked away. Not back by Dembele. He can't pick up his own nod down and just heaved clear. Lloris controls it. I was going to say, for goodness sake, Hugo, don't pick this up. He's on the edge of the centre circle. Lifts it long. Downfield. Kane the target. Headed away by Stephen Corker in the colours of Cardiff City. Picked up by Norton now on the halfway line. How much more battering can Cardiff take? Lamela will chase this. Oh, Lamela gets something on it. Here's Holtby, and he's going to play Lamela in down the right edge of the box, across the face of goal, and turned into the net by Paulinho in the 3rd minute of stoppage time to win the game for Tottenham. They never gave up, and the Brazilian pops up inside the 6-yard box to slot it home. AVB off the bench, punching the air. Celebrations on the far side. Tottenham may well have snatched 3 points very, very late on. Cardiff 0, Tottenham 1. It's a smash and grab.
It certainly is. Wild celebrations amongst those 3,000 travelling Spurs supporters. A big diagonal. Did Lamela foul Taylor? The knockdown was picked up. Lovely reverse pass from Holtby, the substitute, to the byline. And there was a decent cross. And Nick, they had somebody in the danger area for once. Paulinho busts the gut to get in there, brave as anything. And what a delicate finish. A little reverse back flick from close range to win Spurs the 3 points. Big, big goal for Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, I said that David Marshall was not going to be beaten. He was, from close range.
It's harsh on him because he's been exemplary, hasn't he? And it's harsh on Cardiff, actually, because they've been brave defensively. They've worked tirelessly as a team. But that's the harsh reality of the Premier League.
Well, there is, I suppose, still another minute or so to go.
Yellow card, Soldado, I think, for the rather enjoyable celebrations the 10 Tottenham Hotspur players enjoyed there in that corner in front of their supporters.
Arsenal were top of the Premier League on their own with 12 points for a matter of minutes. There's a bit of defending here for Spurs to do. Whittingham blocked. Gunnarsson tries to knock this in towards the edge of the box. How bad must he be feeling after missing that open goal? Soldado takes over. Oh, he's brought it down beautifully. He just takes the ball away from
Berbatov S, wasn't it?
It certainly
Lamela's
was.
offside.
In comes the cross. Lamela is going to be offside here. The flag has stayed down. Master's going to shepherd it out of play, and it's going to be a corner. Tottenham's 12th corner of the game.
I can't believe he's not offside there, Lamela. From the through pass that was played, he was a yard beyond the shoulder of Andrew Taylor. Cardiff City supporters are furious. As you'd expect, Spurs have finally got that goal, and they're in no rush to take this corner.
The corner will eventually be taken by Lewis Holtby, but they're in no hurry to get the ball into the box. Lamela's contributed, actually, since he's come on with that cross given to Holtby. That'll be noted, the new signing. Here's Walker. Nearly has it taken away from him. Blasted clear. Well, Vertonghen again gets in a bit of a pickle there with Ben Turner, who's been put up front. And I mentioned that Arsenal were top of the league on their own for a matter of a couple of hours. Tottenham are with them now. Once again, they've moved on to 12 points. They've won this game by 1-0. The goal coming in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Very, very, very late on. Paulinho bundling in after Lamela's cross from the right-hand side. They threw everything at Cardiff, did Spurs, and for long, long periods they were denied. Sigurdsson hit the post. David Marshall produced 7, 8, 9, 10 saves. Cardiff at the other end of their chances. Odem Wingy went close. There were other chances for Gunnarsson as well. But in the end, it was very, very, very late. But Tottenham have beaten Cardiff. Their great start to this new Premier League season continues. They go back level on points with Arsenal at the top of the table after they've beaten Cardiff City by 1-0.